We're going to do a video today on my Power King stump grinder. It's a piece of equipment I bought 4 years ago. I had a job coming up on the waterfront. Sometimes you're allowed to take trees down. You're not allowed to dig the stumps out. This case here, when the storm came through, rolled the trees forward, it wrecked the guy's rock wall that had been there since the 50s. They allowed me to grind some of the stumps to put this wall back together, but they weren't going to allow me to go out and dig all the stumps out. They were big pine stumps, and it would have just messed up the whole waterfront. That's the job I bought it for, knowing that was coming in the spring. Since then, I've been renting. I've actually rented one, which I believe this is called a Power King. They're real popular in rental fleets. The one I used to rent is the exact same machine, except it didn't say Power King. I can't remember the brand name, but it was a rental. So I knew they worked well. I looked up online. I found this in Home Depot in one of their catalogs, like $1,465, and they ship it to your local store for free. I believe it took a week to come in, whatever it was when I did get it. It comes in a skid, you put it together. I'm doing a review on it because it's been, for that kind of money, this isn't something you want to buy thinking you're going to go out and be the new company that does stump grinding. This will fit through someone's gate in between the houses. That's another thing with this camp. You had very limited areas where you could get out front of this camp, and that's when that thing comes in handy. I dig most of the stumps out when I do a stumping job. You always have, I do a lot of waterfront stuff. I'm around 7 lakes up here. A lot of permitting. Like I said, they do not like you digging up near the lakefronts. When you do, like even in this case that I used that on that job, what I stump ground, part of the permitting was I had to replace, I had to put vegetation in, which was, I ended up doing blueberry bushes because that's what we agreed on. So they come in handy for small landscape companies like me, and I just want to do a review because this thing, I had to work on the brakes this year. It's in one of my videos. I can't remember which one I did. And I'll show you how the system works. It's a 12-inch chipper, stump grinder, I should say. 12-inch stump grinder, and I think I paid like $100 extra to get the better teeth. That was the only option I think there was on it. These are more expensive to sharpen. The other ones had a round style, but the shank part of it itself was weaker, I felt. All I've done to this thing is oil changes until this year. Then the brake, this is adjustable through this knob. You just tighten the cable up. I couldn't get the cable to tighten up. Come to find out, you'll see in the video where I repaired it, there's like a little cam mechanism, almost like when you put a shifter on a dirt bike. It's got a little, it loosened up and slipped. I fixed it without replacing any parts. It worked out good. It was just something loosened up because the rattling this thing does when you're stump grinding. How this works is this one wheel, you lock this brake in, and then basically it will rotate back and forth to do the stump. So maintenance wise, that's the only thing I've had to do. And like I said, it didn't cost me money. It just cost me about an hour of my time before I figured out what happened. That was an easy fix, I felt. It's still running on the original teeth 4 years later. I don't know how many stumps I've done, but it's a lot. But again, I didn't buy this to do major stump work. This normally goes to a job site and does 1 or 2 stumps for me that I can't dig out for one reason or another. I use it probably 3 times a season to go do a couple stumps, so it's worked out real well for me. I'm happy with it. It's got the Kohler Command Pro 14 horse motor on it, which is all it needs. It's got plenty of power. This is one of 5 Kohler motors I have on my equipment stuff now. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's easy to get parts for, filters, so I'm pretty happy. I just thought I'd do a review on it because I think for a price point of under $1,500, and I just looked it up again, and it's still, they went up like $40, so that it's still just shy of $1,500 to get one of these from Home Depot. And I have nothing bad to say about it. All the cables are still working fine. You throttle it up by, you just push that button, and you know, I tend to run it full throttle when I'm doing it, but like It's just a rugged system, and instead of having like a lawnmower thing on it, that's a pretty heavy. It's got the teeth, so when it's almost like a PTO style engagement system. It's just rugged for what you're doing with it. It's got the safety shut off, so if something happens and you fall away from it. I've never used that. I probably should, but I thought I had to adjust the belts. The last video I did with it, I thought the belt was slipping, but what happened is the stump I was doing was blowing apart as I was shipping it, and there was a chunk up in the back of this, really wedged in, which was just making everything drag. I think I even said in the video, I think I'm gonna have to adjust the belts, and then the thing, like, I don't know what it was, 10 minutes later, the thing come flying out. It was actually a piece of stump with a rock in it, and I'm glad it didn't do any damage, because it actually did get pretty warm before it flew out of there. It comes with a little kickstand, so when you're just keeping it in your shed or your garage or whatever, they did their homework. It also came with a trailer hitch that slides in there, so if you want to drag it around with your little BX tractor or a four-wheeler, it comes with a 2-inch ball. I want to say it's like a 5-foot piece of long tubing, so you can actually, it ain't made to go over the road, but if you're dragging it around, you'll land. I'm going to do reviews on my tools that I have and I bought over the years, good and bad. I personally like YouTube for that reason. You can go on YouTube and people are normally pretty honest. Some of these YouTube guys get, you know, a $5,000 lawnmower given to them, and of course they're going to talk highly about it, but I'm not that guy. Someone could, I hope my YouTube channel takes off, and if I get something, the deal with me is going to be, I'm going to be honest with it. You better give me something good, because if it ain't good, I'm going to voice it. But price point wise, I've rented, like I said, it's the identical machine. It's just not called the Power King. So Power King makes post hole diggers and all kinds of stuff. But I just want to do a video. If someone's looking for something for their own property, or a small landscape company like me where you're not doing a lot of stumps. Back in the day when I started this business, so I would rent a small one like this, and I would do, you know, 12, 15 stumps, and made money doing it. I think I would step up from here if you were going to just specifically become a stump grinding, you know, business. But again, this was $1,500. Any other type stump grinder, like the step up from this that I used to rent was a powered one where the wheels actually turned and it would drive to where you, that I had a chance to buy that from the rental fleet, and that was probably 12 years ago. They still wanted $22,000 for it. So again, someone that just wanted to do a little side business, I think this would work. My suggestion would be I ordered it with one extra set of teeth that I haven't had to put on in 4 years, but I'm not out doing 20 stumps out of whack with this neither. I'm at the point where I've done, I'm going to guess close to 35 to 40 stumps with it. What takes that out is hitting rocks. If the soil around that stump's pretty clean, you ain't going to hurt it cutting the stump. It's the rocks that you bang into. I do send some of my stuff out to get sharpened, like my sawmill blades and stuff like that. I'm going to actually, I've seen videos where guys actually, you grind these with a mason grinder, and it will sharpen them again. I'm going to look into it, because I just soon do that myself if I can. What I'll probably do is I ordered this with the extra set of teeth, which I think was like $145 more. I'm just going to switch them out, and then I'll have the time to do these. I do believe sooner or later I'll get on a job where it's going to be nasty material around the stump, and I'm going to be glad I ordered those other ones. I just thought I'd do a quick review. Let people know, don't be afraid to buy one of these. I brought it in. I'm going to do an oil change and filter change on it today. I try to use, if it's a Kohler motor, I try to use Kohler oil. The Honda motors, same. Last time I did this, the oil that came out of it, it was real clean. It's just pricey to get the original equipment stuff sometimes, but I'm going to stick with it because it seems to be working for me. We're going to grind these last two stumps. I'm going to cut them down a little bit with a chainsaw, then we'll be grinding them. I just figured I'd get a shot of it. want to take a close up. I don't get crazy with it, but that's pretty much how that looks. That route went pretty far out, so I chased the route. But all right, from when the video started until this point is 25. I got probably 25 to 30 minutes. That was a big pine stump. It's a little bit of a workout. Like I said, that was a pretty good pine stump, and it gets it down to, all I care about here is getting it below grade, and I don't want to affect these other trees. A lot of times when you, even a small machine like that, it will break pieces like that off. You just pick them out. Another thing I'm going to show is I always cut the stump down as far as I can with a chainsaw. That chain's a lot cheaper to sharpen than it is this. So. All right, another 25 minutes on that one, and I started getting into some pretty nasty rocks. I'm not gonna ruin the teeth on that thing. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm a small YouTube channel. I'm just a guy. I'm gonna be honest about stuff, and believe me, you're gonna see some videos coming up with stuff I bought I'm not happy with for the money I paid for it. And I'll say that. And I don't care if this channel grows to the point where someone says, hey, try this and say what you think. I'm going to be honest about it. The Toro stuff, I watched YouTube, and a lot of these guys got handed a 5, 6, 12, some of them probably 13, 15 grand, the big one, you know, the stand-on, stuff like that. So they'll tell you how great it is. I'm not going to be that guy. If I buy something that's crap, you're going to know it. Same thing if it's good. This case here, I have nothing bad to say about this. This Power King stump grinder is awesome. If anybody's got questions about anything else on it that I didn't show, fixed the brakes because the video before that, I started having issues with it and I couldn't get it to adjust tight. I figured out what was wrong with it. And again, it didn't break. It just came out of adjustment. A bolt had loosened up from a vibration. That's the only time I've wrenched on this thing in 4 years. It's still running on the original cutting teeth. Again, I'm going to come right out and say it. I'm not doing this as a business. This is a tool. I've rented these over the years a lot. If there's trees around the stump you're doing that you want to keep growing and you don't want to get into their root system, a lot of times grinding that one stump, keeping it to a small area is the way to go. And again, that's another thing I use it for. If I'm nervous about the surrounding trees, I'll grind that stump instead of tearing it out, so you don't get in and disturb the root system to those trees that the person's trying to save. But again, I'm going to end this video on the Power King stump grinder. My opinion on it is this is one of the best pieces of equipment I've bought for that $1,500 mark. I mean, I don't see how you can go wrong with this thing. I think someone that wanted to do a little side business could actually, this is rugged enough, so I think it would do well for you. It's something you're not going to want to go out and do 20 stumps. It takes, to do a pine stump, and I'm getting good at it now, I've had it a few years, you just get, used to using it. It's going to take you 35, 45 minutes to do a pine stump. Some of the stuff we have here in New Hampshire is big pine stumps, might even take you an hour. So like I said, don't buy this and compete against guys that have the big diesel ones. This is awesome for a homeowner. This is awesome for somebody that has big farmland or acreage, or you got trail systems. That's when these things come in handy. But I'm going to end the video here. Don't be afraid to buy a Power King stump grinder. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. That's how we're going to grow this channel. Thanks for watching.